I don't got time to be playing with these damn edges today. I don't. What's up, y'all? Hey y'all, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, this is the pilot actually of this here girl series. So I'm just going to be giving y'all some background about myself, my experiences with sexual abuse. So I just want to put this out there, just maybe triggering for some. I'm not going to go too in depth into my abuse, but I am going to give y'all just like a little bit of some. If you feel like you may be triggered by this, I honestly don't feel comfortable with you continuing to watch this, because I don't want to be the reason that someone's triggered, because I have been triggered before and it's not a fun thing. So if you feel like you can handle, like if you feel like you're in a mental space to where you can handle somebody talking about their abuse, then please keep watching. Let me just jump start into it. I was sexually abused as a child from the ages 5 to 8. And it was not just by one person, but when I was 7 years old, that's when my sexual abuse got really explicit, and like that's when it became like really vivid in my memory. So yeah, when I was 7 years old, that was the first time that I ever performed oral sex in my life, and it was not something that I wanted to do. If that's what you're thinking, it was not. It was something like that I was kind of manipulated into doing, and it was just like, hey, like, you want to do a favor for me? And I was just like, okay, because mind you, this is somebody that I'm looking at as family, because they basically were like family to us. I was living in the house that I was in when it happened. So yeah, it was just like, hey, you want to do a favor for me? And I was just like, okay. And that was the favor, which was kind of like, it did seem very bizarre to me as a child, but I really didn't think about it too much, and I didn't tell anyone. To this day, I still don't know why I didn't tell anyone, because I can't really remember, being threatened or anything. You know how like sometimes they'll threaten the people that they're abusing, to keep secrets. But I don't remember that happening. I just remember that I didn't like doing it, and anytime that I would be left alone with this particular person, that's what would happen. So yeah, and then one time when I was 8, and I hadn't seen this person for like a while. It was like a few months, I believe. And when I did see him, he asked, could I do him a favor? And I'm just like, no. Mind you, y'all, I still didn't tell anybody. So that was like, it was still kept a secret, obviously, because had I told anyone, I'm pretty sure we would never have even been in the same house again. But yeah, that's what happened. And when I was younger, like, the abuse was it was just like touchy, feely, kissy. It wasn't like it wasn't as bad as the abuse that I endured when I was in second grade. So that's that. And because I went through that, I feel like that kind of molded me into being a very promiscuous adolescent. Yeah. So when I was an adolescent, 12 years old to be exact, that's when I first started sexually acting out. But my mom didn't know, because I was very sneaky. And I was just doing things that, I had no business doing things that I was, showed at a very young age, and basically for nothing. It wasn't like these guys pressured me into doing anything. They didn't. It was just something that I thought that I should do, and I'm guessing because I wanted them to like me. I honestly don't know why I was doing the things that I was doing, but nevertheless, I was doing them. So yeah. Fast forward, my abuser at the age of 7, his mom passed away when I was 15 years old, and I feel like that kind of just like tipped the scale a little bit. I'm annoying. I'm gonna tip my head, but yeah, I feel like that like just tipped the scale for me, and I tried to commit suicide, but that wasn't my first time trying to commit suicide. Actually, that was just the first time that anyone knew about it. I had one attempt prior to that. So yeah, when I was 15, I just was like, I was pretty much done with life, and I'm just like, no. And me and my aunt, we were very close. That's why I was, it's part of the reason why I was living with her. Like, I used to spend a lot of time at my aunt's house. Like, we were very close, and I loved her to death. So it was just like, when she died, a lot of emotions, like, they just came, like, up. And I feel like a lot of things came back, and I was just like, I don't really think that I can really do this anymore. So I did try to, take my life. And my sister, she found me, my older sister. And of course, you know, she told my mother, and I ended up going to the crisis response center that night, and that was the first time that I was hospitalized. So, yeah, I was in the hospital for like 3 weeks inpatient and 3 weeks outpatient. What that means is I spent 3 weeks inside the actual hospital and 3 weeks going to the hospital's day program. So yeah, I was out of school for 6 weeks. And I remember, like, in the beginning, like, the first couple of days, like, they got levels, too, in the hospital. Y'all probably like, this bitch is crazy. But, listen, they got levels in the hospital. And, like, when I first got there, I was just like, I don't know why I'm here. I don't know why I'm here, but I'm like, I don't belong here. Like, because you do see some stuff in there, and it makes you feel like, some people call it a crazy hospital. You'll see some stuff in there, like, or if you've been there, I see some stuff in there that made me feel like, damn, like, I'm really in a crazy hospital. Like, I'm really crazy up in this bitch. But I mean, it's neither here nor there. Like, everybody go through different things. So, and I know, like, there were people looking at me, like, when I came home, because my business got out. Like, when I was in high school, my business got out, and there was people looking at me like she was crazy, like, oh, she was at Friends. I'm like, bitch, I wasn't even at Friends. You're salty as fuck. I never was at Friends a day in my life. But nonetheless, you know, people just looking at me like I was crazy. I'm like, it is what it is. To me, I did not feel like I was crazy, because I'm like, it just was like, who the hell want to be living their life in a bunch of pain? Like, every day you wake up, you're just feeling out of place. You don't feel right, comfortable in your own skin. Partly because of things that were done to you, and partly because of things that you've done to yourself. Like, it just wasn't a good feeling. So that was it. But that was not my only hospitalization. That was my first one. I was hospitalized 3 times the year after that when I was in 11th grade. 2 of those times were because of my psychiatrist. Every hospitalization was not because of a suicide attempt. And I was hospitalized once in 12th grade, right before I had got pregnant with my son. And I was just like, I'm never going back. Like, once I found out I was pregnant, I was just like, I'm making sure, like, I'm not going back to the hospital. Like, I'm going to get myself together for my son. And that worked out pretty well at first. So, yeah, like, when I first had my son, I did not have, like, any postpartum depression. But that's when I started realizing things. Like, I was 18 years old, and I was just, like, realizing how everything that had happened in my life led me to the point of being a teen mom. And it all kind of, like, it fed off each other. So, you know, like, being showed those sexual acts at such a young age, you know, led me to being a certain way when I was 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, because I got pregnant when I was 17. So, yeah, and then I'm just like, damn, like, I was just this 18-year-old, because I had just turned 18 right after I had my son, because his birthday is August 4th, and my birthday is August 25th, and I was just like, mind you, me and my son's dad, we have not been together since before I was pregnant. So, not before I was pregnant, since before I was pregnant. It's a mess. But, yeah, so, and then, like, once I was pregnant, like, I realized there was no way that we would ever be together again. So, it was just, I had a moment of realization where it was just, like, my life, like, it kind of, like, when I look back, I'm like, I kind of felt like I was always going on that road to, 1 second, because my throat is really about, what the heck? Bitch can't even talk. But, yeah, I felt like my life, like, when I was looking back at it, I'm like, damn, like, I felt like this was inevitable. Like, I felt like, because I was that kid that was sexually abused and she never dealt with it, and I turned into that little teenager that was just, like, bopping. I felt like it was like, what else is there for her to do but have a baby? But I felt very lonely. In my pregnancy, I was very lonely. Me and my son, dad, we used to fight all the time. So then it got to a point where we're just like, oh, we can't really be around each other right now, because it was like a potential hazard of me having a stillborn. Now, mind y'all, I'm 17 years old and I'm small. Like, I don't know if y'all can tell. Like, I'm bony. So imagine, I think I was like 108 when I first got pregnant. I was 108 when I first got pregnant. And my belly was like, I was nothing but sticks and bones and belly. And then it got to a point where my stomach wouldn't stretch anymore. So they were like, I used to have to go down to the hospital like 2-3 times a week. twice a week for stress tests, and then once a week for you know, my prenatal visit. So this was like towards like the end of my pregnancy, and it was just like, damn, like they wanted to induce me because my stomach would not stretch anymore. And I feel like my stomach wasn't stretching because I was just like a little girl having a baby, carrying this baby, bony as hell. It wasn't like I was naturally thick or anything. Like, I was always bony, and my stomach was like not trying to grow anymore. And I was just going through all that by myself, and I didn't have postpartum depression or anything. Like, once my son got here, like it was like a part of me that was just like, it's just me, like, it's just mommy and her baby. And you know, like, I never really had the experience where it was like we never had that family experience. And that is something that, you know, you think that you want. And I never thought I would be that girl, you know, having a baby at, you know, 17. But that's just how stuff played out for me. So I'm rambling. I kind of went off track. But yeah, so one day I was just sitting in my room with my son, and I think he probably was like 6 months, and depression like came like creeping back. And I don't think this was postpartum depression. I just think this was my regular depression that I had prior to having him. And it was just like, damn, like, could all of this have been avoided if I would have just told my mom what was going on when it was happening to me? Like, if I would have just dealt with these things as a child, a small child at that, like a small child, like my life had been, you know, shaped into a different way. And like, who's to say? I don't know, but that's just how I was feeling. And I was just realizing, like, my life was like shaped around sex. And I ain't gonna lie, like, I love sex to this day, because now I'm grown and it's just like, I know what the fuck is going on. But at that age, like, it was just like, no, like, it wasn't a good feeling. So I'm just saying it to say, like, if you are somebody that has been abused, or you're being abused right now, I think that you need to speak out just for your own sake. Excuse me. I feel like you need to speak out just for your own sake, because you don't know, like, what all the good it might do. I feel like all the good it will do. Like, if somebody's taking advantage of you, if someone has taken advantage of you, like, you kind of feel empowered when you finally get that chance to say, like, yes, this happened to me. Like, and it is awkward. It's awkward as hell. But at least you don't have to carry that burden on your shoulders in silence anymore. Like, once you acknowledge that it happened to you, then you could start to heal from it. And I feel like that's where I'm at with it now. Like, now mind you, I was 15 years old when I went to the hospital. I've been actively dealing with this for 7 years. Or, you know, like, at least knowing the right way to deal with this, or knowing how to heal from this for 7 years. And it's only just now that I've really been able to, you know, like, be like, okay, this happened to me, but it's okay. Like, for so long it was just like, oh, this happened to me, like, I feel dirty, like, I don't think that a man will ever love me, I don't think a man will ever want to be with me, knowing what I've been through as a child, knowing what I put myself through as a teenager. Like, that's just how I was feeling. But now I'm just like, no, boo, you gonna be good, because I've forgiven myself. Because for a long time I hated myself for not you know, not speaking up about what happened to me. I'm like, you was a little bitch. Like, even though I used to be with the shits, still am with the shits, but, you know, that's neither here nor there. But yeah, I'm like, you a little bitch. Like, why the hell would you let that happen? Why wouldn't you say nothing? Like, who the hell would you trying to protect? And I beat myself up a lot for that, like, to the point where y'all probably will never know. I mean, if you do the same thing, then maybe you know, but, like, for people that, you know, haven't been through things like that, like, you'll probably never know. So yeah, like, I feel like you should definitely, like, 100% behind people being held accountable for the things that they've done. Like, you don't take advantage of nobody, not no child, not no grown woman, whatever the case may be. I just feel like people need to be held accountable for what they do, especially because 9 times out of 10, you're not the only person that they've done that to, or that they're going to do that to. So not only do you, like, you finally get to say, you know, like, you finally get to make that person accountable for what they've done, but you may have just prevented that from happening to someone else. And I know my abuser, one of them, he definitely, like, he abused a handful of people. And it's just crazy. Like, when I found out, I'm just like, wow. And mind you, these are all people that's close to him. These are all people that's supposed to be family. So it was just like, wow. The first person, like, I don't really know too much about that, because, I mean, I highly doubt I was the only person that he ever touched or molested, but I just don't know for a sure fact. On the other person, I know for a sure fact I was not the only person that he abused. And it's just sad. So, you know, like, when you speaking out, you're not just speaking out for yourself. Like, you could save somebody, because, you know, like, that stuff is very damaging. It's very toxic. It can ruin someone's life if they let it. Because I know for a long time it was ruining my life. So, you know, like, I had my son, and, like, there came a point where it was just like, I couldn't love him properly because I was unable to love myself, and everything that I had been through, it was just like, it was blocking it, and I was letting it block it. Like, I'm just like, I don't deserve this child. Like, what if I ruin my child because I'm so messed up in the head, or I'm so messed up in the heart, and I can't, you know, radiate love to him the way I need to. So it was just like a point where I felt like he would be better off without me, and that point was just last year. One second. That point was just last year. So it was just like, I can't do this to him. Like, I don't want to be the reason that my child is broken because he sees his mother so broken. He sees me, you know, like, just in such a bad space. So I tried to commit suicide again. And this time I was for sure that it was time. But, you know, like, God definitely had other plans for me. And I did end up back in the hospital again. So altogether, I've been hospitalized 6 times in my life. 5 times during my teenage years. And then, you know, like, this one time recently, just last year. And I am so grateful and so thankful to be in the space that I'm in now. Because I realized that I control my life. And what I want for my life is what will be for my life. And if I don't, you know, like, try, like, you have to fight those feelings. Like, it was so long, me and depression, like, we were just fighting, and she was just whoop my ass, and I'm just like, bitch, you got it. You got it. I'm gonna be right back, though. It's like, I wasn't even like, I'm gonna be right back. I was just like, okay, like, ooh, you're so fucking big and scary. Ooh, I'm so scared. Like, no, that's really how it was. Like, I was just like, you got it. Like, it is what it is. Like, I don't feel like fighting for this life no more. Like, it's just gonna be what it's gonna be. But now I realize that everything that I need is inside of me. Like, all that love, forgiveness, it's just all inside of me. Like, anything, the hopefulness, because I was hopeless. I felt worthless. Like, and I know I'm the opposite of that. Like, I have real goals now. I always had goals, but I have real goals now that I know that I, you know, can meet. Because I have a completely different mindset, and I'm letting myself love myself the way I always should have. Like, and it don't have nothing to do with anybody else. It just has everything to do with me. Like, realizing that I'm everything, period. Don't matter the sexual abuse, the little thought in his history, like, the teen pregnancy, the single mom. Like, no, like, I'm everything, period. Like, no matter how somebody may look at me and think that I'm less than, I know that I'm more than they will probably ever understand. And that's been, like, the main thing helping me, because, like, I listen to, like, this music that you're in the background playing. It's like meditation music, but, like, I've been on like a spiritual journey, like, trying to find myself. I keep coughing. I don't know what's wrong with my throat. Listen, I ain't wear my scarf this morning, and now, like, my throat just real scratchy. But yeah, like, I just been on a spiritual journey trying to find myself, you know, seeking God, just finding, like, my divine power, like, basically within myself. I still talk to God, like, every day, and I let him know, thank you for saving me. Like, as cheesy as it may sound, like, I give all, you know, props and glory to him, because I know if it wasn't for him, then I probably would be dead somewhere. Like, God knew exactly what he was doing when he blessed me with my son, because had it not been for my son, I don't think that I would be here. So, although there was a point in my life where I felt so horrible for being a single teen mom, you know, for being a statistic. He knew exactly what he was doing, you know, and I'm still trying to, you know, like align my chakras, you know, get my mind together, meditate. Like I listen to meditation music at night while I'm sleeping, or I listen to I am affirmations at night while I'm sleeping, you know, just things to get my mind right, to, you know, like to really pin it into my subconscious, because, you know, like once your mind get the wandering and stuff, like your conscious mind isn't at play, it's your subconscious, and it's a lot of pain and hurt and hatred in my subconscious, just, you know, from, because that's just how I was programmed, you know, from a kid. So now I'm trying to reprogram my subconscious mind, and I put things in that I want to reflect, that reflect the life that I want to live, excuse me. That's what helps me. Another thing that has helped me was makeup. I think I really seen my turnaround, like when I did my first cut crease, sis, because it was just like, wow, like I can do something, and I really love this, and it makes me feel so good to be able to you know, have something in my head, like a creative idea in my head, and be able to bring it to life. And just knowing, like, you know, like it just gave me that confidence that I needed. Like I feel like confidence has a lot to do with, you know, pulling yourself up out of that rut. Like you have to be confident in something. It doesn't have to be makeup per se, but like it could be like anything. Like I feel like creative expression helps a whole lot. So yeah, that's that. And just, you know, watch the company you keep, watch the things that you listen to, watch the things that you watch, you know, because if we're already in, you know, bad spirits, and we're feeding our mind with negativity constantly, it ain't gonna make the situation no better. So like if you following some pages on Instagram, like, and you know they're not beneficial to you at all in the state of mind that you're in, then you need to unfollow them. If you're watching things on television that you know aren't beneficial to you at all, you need to start watching them in the state of mind that you're in. Because some people, like, they're unaffected by, you know, like putting certain things in their mind, or they think they're unaffected, but it definitely, like, what you put out, I mean, what you put in is what you get out, and you need to understand it, especially for those of us that have, you know, like a history of trauma. So it goes, like, every little thing counts. Like you want to feed your mind with positivity, you want to feed your mind with healing, you want to feed your mind with, you know, like things that make you feel like, all right, I'm going in the right direction. Like this is a step towards me being able to love myself completely. Yeah, and I think that's all I have right now. Hold up, let me check my notes. I ain't never had to stutter that much. Yes, so I hit everything that I needed to hit, and I ain't even look at my book. Alright, yeah. So if y'all like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please share it if you feel like it may be of use to someone else. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification bell if y'all fucking with me. I need y'all to understand, I tried to record this video so many times, and comment, like, subscribe, share, follow me on Instagram at Sunoomeets. I really appreciate y'all tuning in, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.